When finding your voice feels scary.
Dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Saying what you want can feel selfish, but it's not.
Right.
And when you're not used to doing that, it can feel selfish if you're, putting others first above yourself. Saying no can feel like you're letting someone down, but you're not. I had this issue a lot.
Yes.
This is what I was wanting to say at the beginning of the episode, which was I felt a very big burden of being what felt like I was in charge of your happiness by what I said. If I said no, you were going to have a shitty night. If I said yes, you're going to have the time of your life.
Right.
So me being in control of that was like huge, really, really difficult to overcome.
It's a lot of responsibility.
It is. And because we were new in our relationship together and new to swinging, I felt like, wow, this could make it or break it.
Right.
So we had a lot of discussions about this. A lot.
Yes. And I think we cover what that discussion turned into later. There's always this fear that you're being too demanding, that people will not want to play with you because you're just, they're too picky.
The truth is people do respect boundaries and people don't respect doormats.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. You speaking up shows a level of confidence.
Yes.
And as we've said before, confidence is very sexy.
Oh, yes.
Couples really like that.
Speaking of confidence, that was a huge shift for me. When I started to find my voice and stand up for myself, I became more confident. And I started saying exactly what I wanted instead of just going along. So I set goals for each interaction. For example, one of the goals was I would use more direction during sex. So to the left, to the right, harder, more pressure, less licking, right? Slower, faster, whatever it might be.
Right.
And when I started to do that, it was amazing, right? I got what I wanted. And the guy or the girl was like, oh, you want that? Oh, okay, I can do that. And it was like, oh, you're enthusiastic about me giving you directions. So it was this really nice feedback loop. And so everybody got what everybody wanted.
Right.
Which was surprising to me. I also started more recently, I would say in the last year or 2 years, refusing a hug or kiss that I didn't want.
Yeah, that one's been trickier for you.
It's been trickier because it's very socially ingrained. And I don't always want to hug or kiss somebody. Sometimes I put my hand out and someone goes, oh, I'm a hugger. And they like crash into me anyway. And now I've got their smelly perfume all over me or their BO and then like it's all in my hair and it's on my outfit that I didn't want to have to hand wash. And like, oh my God. So it's challenging on so many respects because it's just a norm for social vanilla life even. And so I'm learning a new script for that. Hi, I'm neurodivergent and I don't always like hugging, but I'm happy to give you a handshake.
Easy enough.
Am I confident every single time I do that? No. Am I still learning? Yes. The other thing was trying to let someone down gently. And that was, another goal, learning to be very mindful of my words and let them down gently. Tried out little scripts on you when we were getting ready and then in the car. And then I also tried to be very clear and compassionate with my communication. And the result was I felt more empowered with every interaction. The only challenge sometimes is when you're communicating with people later in the evening, when they've been imbibing on like their drug or drink of choice, they it's a little harder to get compliance. So,
yeah.
but, it ends up working out.
And the most important thing is that you're learning to speak up for yourself. So
yes,
you feel better.
I
You
do.
feel like you've advocated for yourself. And that's huge, huge.
Yes.
There's this gender dynamic. We mentioned it earlier where we were talking about women primarily have this issue of being the caretaker and not wanting to rock the boat, not be the wet blanket, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really an opportunity for women to drive this situation. You use this phrase all the time. Women are the gas and the brake. And women have a massive opportunity to basically be in control of the lifestyle, and men are going to go along with it because we're happy to say yes.
You're happy just to see boobies and butts and running around
all the time.
People doing
exactly
sexy things.
If you tell me I have to sit in a corner and watch, then I might be just fine doing that too. It isn't about who's quote in charge. It's about who's willing to steer where the dynamic is going. So it's not like you're bossing somebody around. You're leading. And
right.
Leaders don't have to be bossy. You don't have to do it in a bad way. Like you said, clear and compassionate. You can be a clear and compassionate leader. You can stand by what you want and kind of guide where people are going. In many vanilla relationships, men lead by default. We were joking about trad wives the other night and how that's a thing.
And in certain cultures, when we were at one of the events in Texas,
yes,
we were talking with a couple for a really long time. And in the Hispanic community, the culture is that the men are the primary instigator and the women depend on that.
Right.
And they know that. And so it's a completely different cultural shift.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll even say, even in vanilla relationships, the guy asks the girl out, the guy pays for dinner, the guy opens the door, right? Like there's these traditional social norms that have been set up.
Right.
And I think that has set us in that pattern so much. And the risk is the lifestyle is so different than that. And there's so much more involved with it. It's not just a social courtesy anymore.
Yeah.
In the lifestyle, that script flips around and women should be in charge because they have so much more at stake with what's going on. They have social permission to set the tone, to choose the connection, saying yes or no to potential partners, and direct play. And most men love being told what to do in the bedroom by women. Women being able to say what they want. It's incredibly empowering, but it's also incredibly sexy.
Mm-hmm. The right every time trap.
Dun dun.
And I kept practicing, though I didn't get this right every time, that type of perfectionism, right?
Right.
And it killed progress.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not always going to say the perfect thing, and you're going to fumble and over-explain and maybe even hurt someone's feelings, unfortunately, and unintentionally. But that's part of the learning curve.
Right.
And the goal isn't perfection. It's practice. We'd have an intimate conversation between us. We'd go off to the side where we could hear one another and say, how are you doing? Is anyone interesting to you tonight?
Right.
What are you thinking? Has your idea changed about the night? Are you willing to play or not willing to play? Right.
Yeah.
Because a lot changes in that situation.
And here's the real trick. The discomfort before you have this breakthrough. So it's always going to be awkward before you figure it out. Finding your power feels uncomfortable. You're breaking old patterns, so you're relearning something. You're risking conflict, even though speaking up for yourself usually avoids conflict, which is the irony of this situation.
I know.
And the really important thing to remember is this discomfort is temporary. It's just while you're learning. And as soon as you figure it out, as soon as you get comfortable saying it, you've built the habit. Remember, repetition builds habits, and then that habit becomes permanent. You've learned the skill, and now you can enact it anytime you need to.
Right. The intimacy upgrade. When you start speaking up, your partner learns what you actually want. That guesswork disappears. Your play becomes more authentic. We had a partner that said yes to everything.
Right.
Seemed like she was just trying to please him, her husband. It was really his idea and she was going along.
Yes, because you could tell through her body language and through her nonverbal communication, though, even though she had said yes, she was checked out. She wasn't engaged in the situation. And so we started getting, like I said, uncomfortable with that because it felt like something was off. Yeah.
Yeah. One night we were with another couple. It was funny. They finally said, "Oh, we're not into that." We're like, "Oh, okay. Well,
that's great. Thanks for letting us know."
Thanks for letting us know. And we were so relieved because we've been misreading these signals for months.
Right.
And it was just refreshing to just be in the know.
Right. And we just zigged instead of zagged. So we just did something different. It was easy.
The beauty in that is information is key, right? They gave us information that allowed us to make a different choice and a different decision, which took us on a different path. And so that felt much better.
Exactly. So how do you actually do this? So we've talked a lot about our examples of what we did, but how do you build this? How do you go from silent people pleaser to confident communicator? Well, that's what we're going to get into next. A simple framework that makes this shift way easier than you think.